Hi guys, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome back to some more Medieval Kingdoms Total War 1212 AD campaign. We're back with our Principality of Antioch campaign. This is episode 4. We're back on Total War Attila. Here today, we're going to be declaring war upon all of Anatolia. Yes, you heard right. We're going to be going to war with Rum, the Trebizond, maybe even the Byzantines. We want to try and seize and annex the territory. We're coming off the Crusade of Cairo, which we had in the last episode, and we managed to take the Ayyubid occupied territory in the Levant, which is now ours. We did lose our faction leader in doing so, but we're under the reign of our second faction leader, Bohemund the Cruel, who is strength ranked 2 now. I want to try and get strength ranked 1. That's one of our victory conditions. The east is split between myself and the Kingdom of Jerusalem, and the Kingdom of Hungary have surprisingly taken up the mantle of the Holy Roman Empire. So, the Empire of Nicaea is quite strong. They've actually lost some territory to some rebels here, and they're actually being besieged quite a bit. So we'll declare war upon these guys and try and take our first piece of territory in Antioch. But the main objective of this series that I set out at the start, the challenge that I wanted to do, was to get 18 regions and form the Empire of Antioch and take Constantinople, making it the heartbeat of our new empire. So we've got 3 full stacks in operation here. At the top of the turn should be a clear-cut auto-resolve. 6,000 Crusaders in full force, a decisive victory, and a base of operations in the heart of Asia Minor here, Anatolia. Okay, time to take some Seljuk territory now. So this should be a easier auto-resolve. And we're also sieging them in Ankara as well. We'll break down and replenish and repair where we can. But we haven't seen a Seljuk army. Iconium has fallen to rebels as well. I feel like they're having a bad time on it. From what I can remember in my my Turkish campaign, I did have a problem with religion. Okay, so we'll send more forces north. Looks like our allies Venice are coming in to help. Even though it's 50-50, it's close victory. We can easily auto-resolve this one here in Ankara. I feel like the balance of power wasn't overly too fair. But now Ankara, the capital of the Seljuks, has fallen. Yeah, maybe they're still licking their wounds from wars with the Byzantines and Trebizond. They seem to have a lot of rebels here as well. Okay, let's occupy Iconium. Right, so I think it's time to go to war with Trebizond, as they have more active military forces by the look of it than the Seljuks. They had like none. So we'll push down south here and we'll hit this one. Raymond the Impaler. If we want to take all of Antioch, warring with Trebizond is necessary. So I want to try and hit that army on the outskirts there. So I guess we'll just build some siege equipment here for now. And we should be able to... Oh, they might come back in. Okay, so we're currently at war with Georgia, which is somewhat annoying. So we're 12 territories into the 18, but they're moving forces against us. Yeah, even though these guys only have 2 pieces of territory, they've had more armies than what the Seljuks have pushed up, so that army fled south. We can take Sinop here. These Byzantine pretenders. Oh no, it didn't move north, we just lost line of sight of it. It's hiding up in the north there. Okay. So, we'll move my brother down. So which one do we hit? 16, 15. Philip as well's nearby. I'm just trying to calculate which one to hit. Like if you force march... What's this? Thessalonica have attacked the Byzantines. Oh, that's annoying. Epirus and the Greeks want to go with them. I don't want to hit that western part of Anatolia just yet. But I guess we're going to have to eventually. You are welcome. Georgia don't want peace. We've got some Iubid pretenders that have risen up. But now we're at war with the Byzantines to the west. Do they want peace for now? No. Emperor Michael's quite angry. Okay. So even with the garrison inside, there's quite a large reinforcing army. We'll have to play this one. The Iubid pretenders are putting some sending some forces down near my territory of Aleppo there. We're not favoured to win this one, and this will be our first fight against the Trebizond, our first major test in Anatolia. So we outnumber them slightly, but let's get stuck into Trebizond. Didn't think that would be this much of a threat in Anatolia. Right, so we are a little bit weakened here. We should be able to siege out their last settlement, unless they do have the Crimea, which they could very well have. We should be able to destroy them. Then we have to quickly double back around to deal with the Byzantines. So we took out the Seljuks quite easily. We were dealing... Like, the rebels that kept on spawning in their lands in Iconium, that's so weird. Like... They had more of a military threat, those rebels, than the actual Turks themselves. It is a tough campaign though. But here are our Antioch archers, our dismounted Templars, Hospitallers and Sergeants, keen and ready to go. So we've taken Sinop from Trebizond. Now let's take their last piece of territory on Anatolia. So I want to do more on Medieval Kingdoms Total War 1212 AD. So let me know in the comments feedback and suggestions. Okay. Let's send up the battering rams. Now, unfortunately, we don't have too much siege equipment. Only 2 rams. Would have loved a couple of arrow ladders or siege towers, but we'll have to make this do. Let's move my archers up. There might be a really good target for us to arc our shots over the walls there. Seems like there seems to be like a little bit of high ground on the western side of the city. That will make our approach a lot easier. The Hospitallers slowly but surely making their way up. Now this looks cool. This is our first eastern settlement that we're going to try and take. We've been fighting mostly... What's our first, like, Orthodox, rather. Our Eastern Orthodoxy settlement. An old Roman fort, I guess. Rather than a Eastern, let's say, Islamic settlement. Okay, those guys, I didn't even see that. How brazen do they have to be? They are so close to me. Yeah, hit them. That's literally a point-blank shot. You gotta give it to Trebizond, quite brave. Sending a unit out there, that's something that a human player would do. Trying to protect the garrison inside, neutralizing the siege equipment is always a legitimate strategy. Finally, our reinforcements have arrived to help us out on this one. Whoa. Didn't mean to click that, I just wanted to show the aerial observation of the battlefield. Now, they've split half of their army on both, like, one's on one gateway, the other's split on the other half. So it's probably quite advantageous for us to rotate and slightly relocate those reinforcing archers. A lot of R's there. Relocating. Rotating. Okay. Still making our way up to the gate, but we're just getting pounded back there by enemy skirmish fire. Same with the Hospitallers. But there is the Emperor of Byzantium with the two-headed bird. Maybe I should do a Trebizond campaign. That'd be kind of cool. Playing as a faction that's ethnically Byzantium, but they want to rule their own kingdom and empire through their own traditions, but with a strong claim to the seat of Constantinople, a rather forgotten kingdom in history, Trebizond. Largely dwarfed, obviously, by their cousins, Nicaea. Those Hospitallers are now wavering. That's not good. We might just have to fire upon our own troops. Yeah, hit the archers. Get our archers to hit the forces there. But sir, we're firing upon our own men. Do it. We need to win. It's still a close one. We are at a disadvantage because this is a defense. We are being the offensive in a defensive siege. And the army plus the garrison is inside importedly for them. We need to get rid of these bloody horses that are charging here. They could completely rout a archer unit there, those horsemen, if we're not careful. Good. They have routed and capitulated. Perfect. Now try for the second. They're so quick to run back in as well. And the problem is the remaining sergeants and infantry The units are just so depleted to a man. Even if they do come up to try and take the ram, they're just going to get whittled down there. Nearly made out through the Trebizond breach. You got to give it to Trebizond. They're fighting for the freedom of their empire and kingdom. They're taking a lot of good Crusaders with us. Our first fight against Eastern Orthodoxy. This is a tough one. But I never said forging the empire of Antioch was gonna be easy. Nearly breaking through the gateway now. Come on. Okay, so maybe it's a little bit deceiving. We actually seem to be trading quite well. We've lost about the same amount of casualties for both sides. I guess it's because we caught a couple of those cavalry units coming out. But we might just have to send in our cavalry, you know what I mean? The Crusaders look keen and fiery and ready to go. Essentially acting as heavy infantry because ours have just been so depleted for those recent wars in Anatolia. So charge on in, push up, give on and help out with support. Spears and shields clashing at the top of the square as the Catholics fight the Eastern Christians. The destruction of Trebizond is hopefully fully underway, and the fall of their kingdom. 60% in our favour. We're making progress well enough. So on the left-hand gateway, we're just trying to swarm as many units in. I think we should be able to out-hit point the enemy. And we've probably got better melee attack over there, defensive. Wavering a little bit, but nothing drastic. My god. They're just shoving so many spears, cavalry, and assisting skirmishers there. Okay. Moving out another unit there. They're archers, but we're getting some target practice. Have to move up some hospitallers to help out. Maybe pushing the right-hand side might be the play. 700. So they're 600, so we're actually slightly losing a little bit more here now as we make our way through the gateway. Try and target some of those skirmishers at the back, ideally. Oh my god, these poor hospitallers. So many of their brethren have fallen there. Just behind the gateway. Gateway's nearly fallen now. Good. We can get those other cavalry that were sitting in reserve on the right-hand side. I didn't send those guys in as they were a little bit depleted compared to the others, but they might be able to save this entire left-hand force, which has been a little bit stuck in a grind. not being able to progress into the final streets of the city. Slightly speed things up here now. It's just turning into a little bit of a grind, a meat grinder through the gates. There's not going to be too many tactical maneuvering now, I guess. For the enemy, they're just trying to hold and fight us to the very last man. Really not wanting to take one step back. Okay. My archers have been a little bit fractured and splintered, so we'll reform them up. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it on that left-hand side. It's going to be a really tight and close one. Oh, we've got some luck there. The Total War gods. And the RNG gods have smiled upon us there. Okay, that's probably won us the battle there, honestly. With the Emperor of Trebizond, their faction leader, now dead in the streets. Yeah, wrap around now and try and send some units over there to relieve some of the gateway pressure. Send some to the town square as well. Phew, perfect. That's some really, really good RNG. If we didn't kill that general early, this battle would have gone on for a lot longer. Archers still firing, support over the top. Hospitaller and Templar Crusaders pushing through the Orthodoxy mix. And we should be able to claim victory here against Trebizond. Man, oh man. Our first real fight against them. What a tremendous performance for them. They were nearly on par with the Ayyubid resistance. And I wouldn't consider Trebizond a major faction. Definitely one of the harder that you can play in 1212 AD. Seljuks I would have expected to be more punishing, and I was expecting more of a struggle against them, but it was not the case for whatever reason. So now this entire left-hand side is either broken or buckled completely, and Trebizond now are in a full retreat. It's inevitable that this city will fall now. Just only a matter of time. Okay, let's just get into these last lot of victory conditions. There's even a catapult in the south. How unlucky for them. Our Armenians cavalry's getting stuck in there. It's always good when a mercenary band really helps out. The Armenians have been a massively underrated unit in this series. I can't recommend them enough. If you're playing as the Byzantines or the Kingdom of Jerusalem or Antioch, pick up yourself some Armenian units. They are fantastic and definitely worth their weight in gold, those Christian Armenians. Okay, so it does look like there is one Byzantine unit, or Trebizond unit technically of Cataphractari, but they routed in the end anyway. Decisive victory. 945 Antiochans were lost. We killed 3,000 of Trebizond. And we can occupy the city. Alright, sweet. Sinop and Trebizond are now fallen. They do have some armies on the outskirts there, but they have no provinces left. Okay, we can't make peace. That's annoying. I thought they might have had their territory in the north. Oh, looks like the Mongols. The Golden Horde. Genghis Khan is to the north. Well, you know what I mean. His sons or whatever. Alright, well, unfortunately it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching episode 4. Stay tuned for episode 5 coming out soon, where we have to deal with our war with the Byzantines now. Unfortunately, guys, it is time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already with the bell notification on. Let me know in the comment section down below feedback and suggestions for the video, and feel free to leave a dislike. If you want to support the channel and follow me on my social media links, they are all linked in the description below. We've got the series playlist that you can access. You can also have a look at my gaming and recording equipment. If you want to get yourself some cheap games, check out the links. You can support me on Patreon if you want. Channel members are available. Use creator code SimpzyTotalWar on the Epic Games Store checkout to flick me a couple of bucks. We've got Twitter, Discord, merchandise, Facebook, Steam group, Instagram, Twitch, and Google Plus links all in the description below as well. But above all, guys, make sure to take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic rest of your day. My name has been Simpzy. Much love from Australia. Goodbye.